Hi guys.
Hi guys. I think there are limited number of viewers, so let's wait for some time so that more viewers can join in, so that we can start. And yeah, we are live. I think we should keep our mic, laptop over.
ऐसे वेट
Uh,
करवाएगा.
let's wait for some time before we start. Yeah. Hmm. Stream watching now. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, we are live. Are we live?
Yep, we're pretty much live.
I think our internet connection is being lost there.
This one is working perfectly. Come on, man. Let's start.
Yeah, I think we should start. Yeah.
Let's not waste
So,
our time.
yeah, first of all, I think we should start with your introduction before. Uh, like, let me introduce Aditya to you guys. So, Aditya is the DevOps engineer at OYO Rooms, and apart from them, he's the. So, I think why not Aditya? You should tell.
Okay. Thanks, Gaurav.
Yeah.
So, hi guys. I'm Aditya Aggarwal. I'm a DevOps engineer at OYO Rooms, Gurgaon. Also, I work with Udacity to mentor students for Android as well as full stack nano degrees in India as well as all over the world. So yeah, brief intro about me. That's about it, I think.
Uh, okay, cool. So I think we should start with a mentorship session. Uh, like I don't see anything in the chat right now, so let me just go through some of the questions that I've been getting in the form feedback form that we were get. I just made people to fill it. So the first question for you is like cat or gate after BTech. Like brief introduction to the topic. Like if you can give. So what are the things you can tell them, like what are the things that you should do for cat or something, and whether you should go for to pursue that or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is very vast actually. So the thing is, cat or gate, it basically depends on what you really want to do in life. Basically, cat and gate will all of them will take you on to different streams altogether. Okay. So I should have started with this actually before the questions started pouring in. That as far as careers are concerned, I'd rather have you have myself and even tell you guys to basically focus on what you think is good for you, what you feel you will be happy doing. So don't do something that is just high paying and you don't really get any rewards for it. Like you don't want to be stuck in a 9 to 5 job and don't and feel like crap. Is that allowed?
Yeah. Yeah, please be open there.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. So what I don't want for anyone is that they should not do anything they don't like. So first of all, when choosing a career, don't choose कितना मेरा पैकेज मिलेगा. Don't choose it based on मेरे को समाज में रिस्पेक्ट कितनी मिलेगी. अब कल किसी को गाड़ी से उड़ा दोगे, आपकी सारी रिस्पेक्ट खत्म हो जाएगी unless आप सलमान खान हो. So that respect doesn't matter. Okay, so make sure that whatever you choose to do in life, it's based on do you really love doing that. Okay, so yeah, cat or gate basically decide. Cat will land you straight into MBA. You'll learn how to make PPTs and stuff. I'm not entirely sure how MBAs work.
Yeah.
I'm a
Okay.
bachelor.
So being a bachelor, he don't even know like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we should move forward to the next question. So our next question is from Utkarsh Goyal. So he's asking like how he should manage coding and college simultaneously. Like, if you can throw some light on that.
Man, in college, I only used to study 2 to 3 hours prior to the exams just to pass them. I'm not recommending it for everyone. Okay. I'm not saying your college is better. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that always, focus on what's really important. Like, college life will be important if you are doing campus placements, especially. They will most definitely keep in mind how much marks you are getting in your fronting you guys for campus placements. So other than that, it's a very general thing. Like, take a lot of coding. So my studies when I went to college was 1 hour from home to college, and what I would really do is I would just read some blogs and everything. So as far as managing coding and college is concerned, just spend be more 2 3 hours. Just listen to them once. I think I'm pretty sure you'll learn quite a bit, unless you're not attending classes. In which case, वो फिर कॉलेज से पूछो भाई क्या करना है.
I would also like to throw some light on that topic. So, if you can spare 1 or 2 hours for the coding, like if you start from working from first year, that would be good enough. Start doing gigs for gigs, go through that, start preparing something from.
We're going much deeper into it.
Like I think you should tell them. Yeah.
See, the thing is, as far as managing, like you said, is concerned, so coding in college, what you should really be doing is just if you really like coding, that is, just spend an hour or two every day. You won't even know where you actually passed them. Okay, and when you really notice where you have reached, you will be an excellent coder already. Okay, so yeah, 1 hour or two for coding every day is more than enough. Like you don't need to spend 12 hours every day in coding. You won't get better. It's really about understanding it rather than just learning it.
Yeah, but starting early is important.
Yeah, starting early.
Starting early is important. And so moving on to our next question. So next question is from Nikhil Sharma. I think he's an aspiring DevOps engineer. So asking about how to get started in DevOps.
Okay.
So if you can throw some light on that here.
DevOps is a very wide. It has a huge range, Nikhil. So basically, what I would suggest is before being a DevOps, be a developer. Not professionally. You don't have to be a professional developer before you become a DevOps. Just actually understand how applications really work, understand how multi-threading works, how your application is getting RAM, how it's utilizing the CPU, because you will be asked to debug such things when you're a DevOps engineer. Apart from that, learn some basic tools like bash scripting. Python scripting is the Python is really up and coming when it comes to the automation part, and a large part of DevOps is removing the DevOps job altogether. So we just automate our own work and make ourselves jobless in a few years. So
So
yeah,
it's just like putting an axe to your feet there.
well, you have to.
Yeah.
So for being a DevOps engineer, start small, but start learning how really Java development works. Like how does Java really compile? Learn about integrations. Learn about deployments. How your app server is configured. Register on AWS, you'll get some free credits. Register on GCP, you will get a lot of free credits there. So you have immense potential to learn it all by yourself. You can do it very easily. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we should move to another our question. So
I'm
our
taking too
question.
much time, man.
Yeah. I think giving them a deep insight is more important than yeah.
That looks awesome.
So our question is from next question is from Pradyuman. So I think he is an aspiring entrepreneur. So wanted to know like how do you think about startups? How to build a startup? If you can tell something about that.
I am not entirely sure if I'm the right person to answer this. I have never actually built a startup. So what I would say is focus on your own thing. Okay, have a base product, have a business idea in mind. Like anyone you have to pitch your startup to, you will have to explain anyone. I'm sorry. So anyone you have to pitch your startup to, you will have to explain how you are going to generate revenue in the next few years. Okay, so have a very clear business idea. You don't really have to be a developer or a coder to have a startup. Okay, you can always get more people. You can always get a co-founder who's your CTO. Okay, just have a very basic goal in mind and work on that only. Like don't see it, like if you're working with let's say you're trying to recreate the shoe, don't jump to the skates as well. Okay, just focus on the shoe for a while.
Okay, so like Aditya, what are the things that you have faced in the startup? Like if you can say.
OYO is a high functioning startup. It's almost like the workload is awesomely immense. So at OYO, if I have to talk about, so I'm sorry, but so what's the question again?
So what are the things that you have faced in the startup
Ah,
and
so
the difficulties there?
See, when you're a startup and you have some investors going, they want you to make revenue. They want you to generate profit. Okay, and profit and revenue are two very separate things. So what you really need from what they really need from you is you will face immense pressure in generating business, generating revenue, generating profit as soon as possible. And when that comes into picture, you'll get your business teams will have a lot of pressure, and then they'll go on to pressure the tech teams if you are building a tech startup. Okay, so basically have a clear goal in mind and work on that.
Well, I think another question is uh, I think I should not ask that. So let's moving on to the next question. So Apurva is in second year in the college. So she wanted to know how can she improve her skills. I think what she's trying to ask is how can she improve her development skills. I think
Spend more time development. It's
so.
just as easy. Just pick random projects
Yeah.
all over the internet. Like it doesn't matter if you are the first person to make it or not. You're not going for a startup. Yeah, and even a startup doesn't have to be the first one to create something. Okay, so what you really need to do is, well, pick some projects, pick random projects. Like if you find something on the internet that's exciting to you, although I always say otherwise, you can always go ahead and recreate things. So you learn a lot when you recreate stuff. If you see, well, for example, let's say you see a library management application, and it doesn't have to be. You don't have to really create the best application ever. But if you just recreate the same basic thing while in college, okay, don't. I'm not saying that's what you'll be doing in your life. I'm saying if you just recreate that in your college itself, you will get a lot of insights in terms of how program actually works. Like get some users and distribute it among your friends. It doesn't actually have to be a library app. Make something that's useful for everyone, and everyone will start using it.
And I will also like to throw some light on that.
Hmm.
So Apurva, what you can do is just start coding. First of all, you must have a passion to do some code and
Exactly.
develop some things. So secondly, if you have passion, then you would be browsing through YouTube or something like some mocks and learning some tech there and going through tutorials there. And after that, you can do some projects on that. Apart from them, try to build something on your own. So tutorial would be just guiding you through your projects there, but apart from that, you should also build some projects, and you can go through GitHub and check people's profile there and check out what are the things they have built and see their code there and how clean and how tidy their code is. And also you must go to some hackathons and some tech events there. So tech events and hackathons help a lot. So I would say they improve your networking, and also give you deep insight of what the field and what other technologies happening around. So you can go home and Google that, and you will surely feel something हाँ मेरे को आता है ये. You can do that. Yeah. So let's move on to our next question. So it's from Pranshu Pratik. I'm sorry if I spelled wrong. And he's in first year triple E, so he's asking, is it necessary for me to learn code for get placement, and from where should I learn coding? Uh, Aditya, would you like to throw some light on that?
Yeah, I think you know what my answer will be here.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know. I think that is a repeat question, but
See, Pranshu, do you really love coding? If your answer is yes, then yeah, go for that. Don't go into it due to placements. Okay,
so keep in mind he's a electrical student,
doesn't
so
matter.
he's not having a computer background. So
You can always start learning to code if he really wants to.
yeah,
And if you don't, if you know, I actually know some people who are really good with some electrical stuff, like bot builders and everyone. They're awesome. And if you, it basically depends on what you want to do, man. Don't do something because प्लेसमेंट लेनी है. नौकरी मिल जाएगी हर चीज में, आज नहीं तो कल मिल जाएगी. That's not really important. Like, do what you really feel you're good at, you enjoy doing. Okay. So if you really want to know where you should learn to code, Udacity is a good place to start, but it's paid, so you can go for open source websites. If you want to learn web development, go for free code camp. If you have anything else in mind, Udemy usually has Udemy usually has I'm sorry, what was I saying? So Udemy usually has courses about everything. Like you can even learn communication skills there, which I think I need. So basically, what I'm saying is, if you really want to learn to code, go to Udacity, go to Udemy, YouTube some tutorials, figure out what you really like to do.
so I think Pranshu would have got his answer. So let's move on. So first of all, I think we should take a break and check our chats there. So Vishesh and Shivam is saying like, what are the future scope of some ethical hacking? So
Ethical hacking.
Vishesh and Shivam, I think he would not be able to tell about ethical hacking. So he because he don't know about ethical hacking.
Well, I
And
mean, DevOps at OYO is DevSecOps.
uh,
We include security in our own team. So
okay,
basically, the thing is, ethical hacking has a huge scope if you do it right. Okay, every application, every company has responsible disclosure programs. Almost every company, and maybe officially, maybe unofficially. Like if you really find something that's troublesome, and you tell them, okay, you are sure to be rewarded. Okay, I'm not saying it works like that in my organization. I'm saying it works like that all over the world. Okay, so yeah, ethical hacking has a great future, man. Like we are all already fighting among privacy and security and stuff like that. So yeah, if you really think your future is in ethical hacking, go for it. So is this it?
I think you. Uh, so I think Vishesh and Shivam would have got their answer. So let's move on to our next question because we are not getting some enough questions in the chat there. So so Dimple is asking a question that how to improve its own coding build code
Code
loading
logic building.
building. So I think this is a repeat question there. Yeah,
Kind of a repeat question.
yeah,
So,
kind of a repeat
Temple, to
question.
just sum it up quickly,
Yeah.
what you can do is go to Hackernack, go to Hacker Earth, go to CodeChef. Uh, you'll find a lot of practice problems from easy to hard level. Just go through them one by one, and sooner or later you'll find that you are a good programmer already. Okay.
So let's just give this question a pause. So Aditya, why don't you tell something about your story? Like how did you get placed in OYO and about that your college life there?
Okay. My college life was a bit boring. Actually, it was a lot of fun.
I think you should tell the audience, not me.
You are the one asking the question.
So, but that's audience are also interested in that. So
Okay, so Basically, I started programming when as soon as the second year of my university started. So I was really interested into Android from early on. So I started with Android, then figured, okay, I can do everything in the app. Then I went to the servers, then I came back to Android, and sooner or later, Google started its developer student clubs program in last year. I think, yeah, 2017 they started that, and I was appointed as the DSC lead at my own university. So from there, basically my professional life, you can say, it began. At the same time, I was also appointed by Udacity as a classroom as well as a classroom mentor and reviewer. So yeah, college life has been a lot of fun. So me and my friends would all just sit in the cafe, work on different technologies. Fight about which one is good, which one is bad, and have no definite answer. Even now, we don't.
So I
Jay, if you are
think,
there, React still not my tea. So
yeah. So like, would you like to throw some light on Udacity thing? Yeah.
okay, so I'm thrown this question way too much, so I'll just clear it up right now. So you don't become a mentor at Udacity; you get chosen. So what Udacity does is, when you are a nano-degree graduate already, what they would do is they usually fire emails to all the graduates that they have, and you get to choose what sort of if you really want to be a mentor at Udacity. So there's some sort of screening. They'll check your communication skills, how you would like to talk to students, if you are really interested in teaching, if you're really interested in taking doubts and everything. And yeah, mentoring in Udacity has been awesome, really. So what we I get to meet students all over the world. I get to take interesting doubts. I've learned more about Android development when as a mentor than I've learned with two different nano degrees. Because student ask that those sort of questions, you don't have to look
Yeah.
at me like that. Those nano degrees are fun.
Yeah, nano degrees are fun.
So
And
see, when you are a student, you tend to go to things. So you look at the documentation, you find that okay, this is something new. So where else are you gonna go? So they come to the mentors, and the mentors usually, well, the mentor here me, we usually have to study and get back to them. Okay, so you asked me about this, right? So about this specific topic, I was able to find these resources. I was able to study well from here. I found this very helpful. So stuff like that. Yeah.
so I think you told a lot of things about your backstory and backstage thing. So let's continue our mentorship session there.
Yeah.
And so moving on to our next question. So next question is from Ekampreet Singh. So he's asking like, how can he learn DevOps in a systematic way? And he, being a student, you should more throw some light on how he can do it in free.
And for a student, everything is free. You just have to look for it. Just go to GitHub for GitHub education program. You'll get free Amazon credits. You'll get free access to GitHub private repositories. Just you'll get free IDEs. IDEs worth hundreds and thousands of dollars. You'll get for free for as long as you're a student. And yeah, so see, like I said before, so for DevOps, what you really need is get just amass a lot of different free credits from Amazon, from Google. I think Azure also offers some free credits. I'm not entirely sure about that. Amass those, then start. Basically, first start with application development. That's not all DevOps engineers will recommend that. It's not really the part of their job. Okay, but it will really help. Like if a developer comes to you and asks that मेरी ये specific app है and ये मेरे local computer पे चलती है, those developers are just supposed to code. That's their job. Okay, and if it works on their machine, it's supposed to be fine. So why is it not working on the server? You're supposed to sit with them and troubleshoot it. That's part of the profile. Ah, so DevOps. So yeah, first learn about application development, then move on to deploying servers, deploy code on the servers. Okay, learn about Linux systems. All the companies these days are on Linux systems. Okay, so learn enterprise Linux will help CentOS, RHEL, uh, FreeBSD is also there. So You'll learn all of this stuff from free, man. Just amass a lot of Amazon credits, and they're more easier to come by than you would think.
So moving on to our next question.
Hmm.
So next question is from Vasu Gupta, and he's asking how can he intern in some reputed college MNC there without any campus tie-up, that don't have any campus tie-up. You can see that.
Okay.
And
So for this, okay. So full disclaimer, I was placed into OYO as an intern via campus placements. So, if you want off-campus placements, it is kind of difficult, but it's not really impossible. So make sure that you have a network early on. You know, networking as a developer these days is really important. Go to GDGs, go to Facebook meetups. DigitalOcean also has meetups in
yeah,
Delhi these days,
DigitalOcean
right?
also have that.
So DigitalOcean has meetups. So attend meetups, meet people, talk to people. Okay, if you're really good, if people enjoy your company, then and they are somewhere in a place where they already have a job and their company is looking for talent, they'll approach you. They'll ask you if you really want to join them. Okay, and apart from this, there are some other programs as well. There's some very good internship programs. Go to Internshala, you'll also find some good companies there as well. So apart from that, there's a very interesting program by friends. Well, there's a guy, Mr. Prashant. He works out of Bangalore, and he has a huge network of people in Bangalore, in the startup culture itself. So I'm not entirely sure what you mean by MNCs here, Vasu. If by MNCs you mean TCS, Infosys, I would really not recommend it. The learning will be kind of stagnant. So go to a startup, learn new stuff. They'll pick your brain. Your hair will fall out because you have so much work to do, but it will be fun and you'll learn a lot.
I
So
think I should also
huh.
throw some light on that
So,
topic as well.
Mr. Prashant thing. So, Prashant, what I was saying is
So
there's a program, Skip the Line. Just Google it and you should find it. Gaurav, I'll just give you a link. Just add it to the video
okay,
later.
I will add in the
Huh.
description there.
So, join Skip the Line and you'll find some really good opportunities. And
And
it's
yeah,
completely free.
so let me just continue the talk where I was saying that. So, like first of all, Vasu, like if you want to intern something, that the thing that Aditya also told, that you should have a good network, and I think you should have a great network. And apart from that, you should have some projects, live projects there working, and really good projects that would help them fascinate. Like, this guy has made a lot of projects there, and he's a really good developer that he's showing. So that adds a plus point to you. And apart from them, that I would say, like, even if you don't have a great network there, so you must have built something great, and that would help you like showcase somewhere. So companies also look for someone like, yeah, he has built something, why not we should approach them. And apart from them, that I would say, yeah, just keep your LinkedIn handy and great. Yeah, LinkedIn, uh, yeah, HR recruiters are always in the search of someone like who is looking for a job, and he has a great LinkedIn profile there. So improve your LinkedIn profile there, and I think you would get some good companies in MNC. And best of luck, I think. Yeah. So let's move on to our next question. Okay, so next question is from Shivam Shukla, and he's asking like, how does it feel to work in a startup? Like you can say, yeah, more of a generic question it is, but
Yeah.
yeah,
If I have to sum it up, I would say it's interesting. You learn way too much. Like you can't really expect to learn so much in so little time in a normal company than you would at startups. So as a developer, you're treated well in a good tech startup at least. So you will have some great benefits along with it. In a really early stage startup, your salary might not be very much, but I'm telling you, one thing is for sure, you will learn way too much. Like you would not have expected what you can learn in 6 months. Trust me, based on true experience. So yeah, uh, so working in startup is really fun, man.
So
Back.
yeah, so let's move on to our next question there. So Aditya, you are also, apart from Udacity Scholar there, so you are also an Android associate developer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't you throw some light on that topic?
Yeah, so Android Associate Developer certification I did back in February. So after that, they have changed the whole certification a little. So I would suggest go to the Google developers website. See what their new prerequisites are. Basically, before doing the AAD certification, I had the Udacity's Android developer certification into already. So I was pretty much prepared. So basic, AAD basically tests if you really can handle Android. And Android is a really fun OS to code in. Like Kotlin as well as Java, you'll really enjoy it. And there's the first level would have a project involved. They'll give you a skeleton app, and you have to complete some functionalities. You have to fix some bugs. You have to find out and find out missing pieces and implement them properly. And once that is done, once you have cleared that part, after that you have a face-to-face interview with the over the webcam, of course. So you will have a face-to-face interview with this some of the mentors at Google itself. So Google developers, they themselves take these interviews more or less. These 30 minutes to 15 to 30 minutes interviews these last, and they basically test out that whatever you submitted, have you really built that? They just test it out, and after that, congrats, man, you're an associate Android developer. So yeah.
So I think Rajat have got a lot of deep insight of how he can get started with Android associate developer. So I think, what is the fees for Android associate developer that you have paid?
At that time it was 6500 rupees. I
I
am
think,
not sure how much it is right
yeah, by
now.
now it would have increased, I think so.
I am not entirely sure. You guys will have to check it.
Yeah, and I also heard, got to know, like, Android associate developer was just paused for some time there.
Yeah, it was paused almost a week or two after I completed it.
Oh,
And
so I
then
think
they
you were
revamped the
the
whole thing.
you were the lucky one there.
Yeah, they have introduced a lot of new and cool features. So this year's Google I/O was a really huge overhaul for Android. So they introduced a lot of new things. They introduced some new technologies. Android Jetpack was introduced, and it was all added to the Android Associate Developer the developer certificate. And basically for that you have to study Android Jetpack, study how alarm manager that an Android works, job schedulers. It's basically about pacing tasks, handling databases, UI, the difficult stuff.
Okay, so let's move on to our next question. So next question is from Angad, like how you started his your journey in OYO Rooms, and if you can give some deep insight on that.
I don't. Uh, okay, so the thing about this is,
So let me just pause you.
hmm,
Like, please give a deep introduction, deep detail, like how did you, what was your interview process there to before joining your rooms, and how did you join there, or what was the things that you were learning there, like you can tell that.
okay, before OYO, I was more of a developer than a DevOps guy. But I was always really fascinated by servers, and when I got the DevOps internship at OYO, I was more or less, I was actually excited. Then I didn't actually feel bummed out that यार मैं तो developer हूँ, मुझे DevOps guy नहीं बनना. Yeah, and it's a lot of fun actually. You get to do a lot of development as well. So my interview process was that of a developer actually. So because I was hired out of campus, more or less all my interview questions were based on how a campus recruit is questioned. Like I was asked about the software development processes, algorithms, some data structures here and there. Then I was asked about. Okay, I'm sorry about that.
So sorry about that, like we are just sitting in the CC CCD and actually you can see like we were just in the hackathon there, so we just did our AMA thing from their CCD. So
Yeah. So the crowd has passed. So
yeah.
at, yeah. So after that, my interviews had some questions about how I would because I listed some of this stuff on my resume. Like I've worked with Amazon CC2 servers. I've created some databases, managed them all by myself. I've worked on lambdas and everything. So they were the interviews were interested in knowing more about it, and then we started having discussions about how and which one would be better, EC2s or lambdas. The right answer is the use case. And apart from that, what we do is
I think Aditya, you should be a little louder there. Audience are not able to hear you.
okay. Sorry, I can't. I don't really talk very loud.
I think we should provide you a mic there.
We don't have one right now. Okay, I'll be just closer to the mic then. In my interview, my interview was more or less about put on my resume, and I was offered a DevOps profile, and I started. I routine requests, provide access to the developers to do some stuff, see why the app was not performing as it's supposed to. We use tens and hundreds of different APIs at OYO, and slowly and steadily I'm done. Like you pick up and go about it कि हाँ okay अब ये भी करना ही है तो once you actually start learning there's no real stop. Say हाँ बस तेरा बहुत हो गया. It would just never happen. I've had my seniors 11 to evening 9 and just teach me some new stuff. It's
So let's move on to our next question. Yeah, Pranshu. So I'm sorry if I had spelled the name wrong. No, Pranshu hadn't asked before. So Pranshu had a lot of question to so first question is should I focus more on data structure and comparative? Like, would you like to throw some light on that?
See, Pranshu, as much as important as development is, you really can't hope to be a very good developer unless you know algorithms and data. I'm not saying that you should, just uh, क्विक शॉट रट के कोई फायदा नहीं होगा.
So
मे बी इंटरव्यू में गलती से इंटरव्यूअर पूछ ले कि क्विक शॉट का कोड लिख के दिखाओ. दैट्स द एंड ऑफ इट. No one in a real job will ask you to rewrite quicksort. Each and every company, each and every language offers the functionality inbuilt. Okay. What you really need is the thinking skills. Like, do you really need to loop over a list of 10,000 arguments and do some stuff, or can you do it by a single line and a very interesting math algorithm? And it's usually possible. It's maybe not this that you don't have to iterate over a thousand different elements in a basic array, let's say. But it would be possible that you can get away by just having to iterate over 5 of them.
okay.
So just be familiar with data structures, learn why they are important more than what they are. So it's very good that you know how to implement a hash map from scratch. But do you really know how useful it can be when compared to a normal list? That's the thing that will really matter.
And you must know where it will apply there. Yeah, so
Exactly.
you must know the application there. And yeah, he wanted to like, is it required in some projects there, real life projects there or not? Like, have you?
Real life projects.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, see, what would happen is, Pranshu, you will build an app one day, and you will test it out yourself, and you will say that it's working fine because you're the only user. Okay, but when you unleash that beast on the world, and there's even 100 people using it, you would start noticing performance issues. If you are really getting about 100 queries from your database, and then iterating over them to find something particular, okay, you're going to face a lot of trouble. No user is going to sit in front of his screen 10 seconds to see a loading window while your application goes over each and every element of the database to find something useful. Okay, so yeah,
Okay.
they are important in real life. You have to know how to apply them more than how to build them.
Okay. So next question is also from Pranshu there. So Aditya, as you know, like GSOC is around the corner there, and you know, like it is the important open source event that happens in the world. And he know Pranshu is asking like he is interested in Java and that, but right now he's in the second year of college. So should he apply this year or next year? And well, and he hasn't done any project yet. So what you would suggest him?
And I haven't actually done GSOC ever. I'm not even entirely sure if I'm the right person to comment on it. But I would say this: get some experience. Uh, I think Gaurav will be able to answer much better. I mean, so I think
So
you should take this one.
okay, so
Yeah,
yeah,
on to Gaurav.
yeah. So Pranshu, like last year I also tried to do some GSOC there. So GSOC is like you must start contributing from now on. Like this is the high time uh, that you have wasted. Like, and you must start working right now. And GSOC is like a 12-week program there. And in this 12-week, you have to work on some live projects there and do some coding there. And you are working with the organization, and a mentor is above you that is guiding you all the time there. And like GSOC doing in even if you are in first year or in some school there, you should do if you have some interest in that. Like if you try, maybe like you would fail there, but of course you would learn something from that. And next time it will help you when you would be doing GSOC again there. Like you would be knowing your pros and cons there, and that will help you do better. And uh, uh, all the best. Like I would say, like you can get GSOC there. It's not nothing like experienced person can get. And yeah, projects doesn't matter that if you have made project or not. The main thing matter is proposal there, and what are your contribution in that organization, like how much active you were and how much helpful you were to the some organization member and some fellow members there, and how were you doing there. So what is your attitude towards the your code and writing that, and how dedicatedly you are doing that work. So like mentors start looking for that from your attitude and all that from the starting, like from December, November, October, and keep yourself in the limelight there. Like it will help you uh, gain success in GSOC and get an internship from some really good uh, organization there, open source organization. uh, like you would like to some throw some light on that.
I am not really an open source guy.
Okay.
Uh,
So no issues there. So let's move on to our next question. So yeah, just a second. Let us see like if you have some chats or in the there. Uh, no, we haven't got any chat or something like people asking any question there. So let's move on to our next question that was in the responses there. So Anmol is asking something like uh, what so what is more important in big companies, projects or some problem solving skills?
both. There's no single answer for this. Your projects will help you land interviews because the recruiters will already know your work. Okay, but that should not be the end goal for your projects. Your project should be there because you want to learn something. And as far as problem solving skills goes, well, I'm one of the person who appreciates Steve Jobs for the fact that he once said that programming should be taught in middle school itself because it actually helps the mind, think. Problem solving skills will help you regardless you're in a big company or a small company. You'll always be solving some problems, and yeah, a lot of companies do prioritize problem solving skills over having development skills, but that's not always the case. So Gaurav, any insights on that one?
Yeah, I can tell something more about that also. So, like, there are two ways to where you should approach them. Like, if you want to go on campus or off campus placements there. So, if you have some good on campus placements in your college, and companies that come in your college for placements there, so what they mainly check in the students is like their problem solving skills there. Like how really good he is in programming there, and how he's doing there. And uh, apart from that, they check what they check is their your aptitude there. Like, how are you good in that? So quantitative aptitude and qualitative aptitude also helps to get some job in your college for on campus or pool placements there. And apart from that, if you want to apply for off campuses don't really care much about your problem solving skills. So what they see is what are the projects that you have worked on. So if you have worked on some really cool projects and that are live also, so live projects add some plus points to, like, they are like brownie points to that. And if you, even if you have worked on some projects there, so it will help you there. And like, yeah, these are the things that you should see there. And if you want to go for on campus, go for problem solving skills, improve your problem solving skills there. Like, do hacker rank that Aditya earlier told you, like hacker rank, code shares, podge. Do some competitive programming that will help you increase your knowledge about DS and algo there. And if you want to go for some off-campus jobs there, so go for some development field there, like Android, web. Like, you can see right now, uh, React and Angular are like on the boom, but yeah, they change timely. So if you are a good coder and you have some good attitude towards coding and development, then you can easily grab a job there. Yeah. So let's. So next question is from Aditya again, and this is a debatable
Aditya, it's
question.
me.
Oh, sorry, Anmol there. So this is a debatable question, I would say. So Aditya, do you think future of Android programming is dead?
Oh, I'm really surprised you have to ask me that. Thank you very much.
No, I
So,
think
to give
Anmol.
you a little bit of context about my reaction here, me and Gaurav are at Hacker Camp,
Hacker camp. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
from morning 9 o'clock, we have been working on an Android app. So, yeah, see, Android programming is not dead, and as long as Android is gaining more users every day, it won't be dead. Sure, it may face some competition from React Native, maybe some other framework will pop up in the next few days. There are already a few JS-based frameworks. There's people who develop in Android with the Python, man. See, Android programming you have said, so I would
Yeah,
say
even
Android
I have
programming is
no.
definitely not dead. Okay, maybe Java is dying out, so Java will be replaced by Kotlin. Maybe something other, some fancier thing will come in next 5 years, and maybe five, maybe 10, maybe 15. We don't know. So maybe that will replace Kotlin. Android as a platform is growing every day. I'm a bit surprised why you feel that it's dead.
What I would say is, like, no, Android is not dead. It's just the taste and the approach would have changed there, and nothing else. Android will not be dying there. Even if you will see people like working in Scala, C, C++. They are not even dead. You would think that they are dead, but internally they work there. Like, I can say that right now WebAssembly that are working on so backend for WebAssembly is C++ there. So web assemblies are also working. So you can see, like, and one thing, and I also like to say that assemblies are getting some boom there in the market. Like they are getting some interest, people attracting some people there, and yeah, so they are also not dead. So Nanak Singh Khurana is asking a question like, does joining any institute for coding will help or not?
Depends on the institute you want to join. I've never actually been to an in-person institute as such, but I've been told that coding ninjas and coding blocks is very good. I won't actually. I'm neither recommending nor unrecommending them. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if that's the correct word.
So
But
promoting, I would say,
that
yeah.
those are the only two institutes I know. So I also know that there are some institutes in every city like that will have some posters running around. 6 हफ्ते में एंड्रॉइड सीखें. वो एंड्रॉइड उतना ही 6 हफ्ते में आप सीख सकते हो जितना आप 6 हफ्ते में इंग्लिश सीख सकते हो. 6 हफ्ते में अंग्रेजी सीखने वाले posters से, you know.
Yeah.
So, if you should join a coding institute, depends on how the institute really is. Like, is it really teaching you how to program, how to develop something, or is it just having a booklet from the past 10 years and just repeating everything every day?
Yes, some across question, Aditya. So, what would you prefer, internship or doing a training? And what are the pros and cons?
Internship.
So, why do you think that?
Define training.
Uh, Training is something like you have some mentorship from some really experienced guy there, and he's training you there.
So I work at OYO, and there's 6 senior people there with me, and every week or the other, I am just sitting with one of them and learning about what they do. Am I being trained or am I on an internship?
Uh, so
Kind
you
of put
caught
you
me
in the
there.
spot.
Yeah, you caught me.
See, training in the sense that most people will perceive is that you join some place where you are paying them money, okay, and they are training you, and they'll have it count as internship because they will teach you to work on their products. So, isn't internship better? You get paid to work on the company's products while learning.
Uh, like I have a different mindset for that internship and training there. So let me just tell you something, some pros and cons about internship and training there. So in internship, like what you regularly see that internships are paid, like companies are paying you, and in training, you are paying to the company there. And in internship, like maybe you have some batchmates there, but there are a limited number of batchmates there. And in training, you would be having at least 30 members in the training batch there. And
Like I said,
yeah,
depends on what you consider training, and
yeah,
when you're talking about stuff like that,
yeah,
in the usual sense,
yeah,
training,
usual sense, yeah.
then you are the one who's paying it, and you are not really learning anything fascinating.
Yeah, you are not working on some live projects there, I would say.
See, no matter how much you train, unless you actually run the marathon, you won't really know how to run a marathon.
Yeah, so try to get some internship there, even if it is free. Like you,
Unpaid.
yeah, you can say unpaid, but yeah, you get some experience from that as well. Yeah, and I think we are not getting any other comments in the YouTube there, and we are also
Out
with
of
our,
questions here.
yeah, out of questions there. So, and yeah, we are also out of our time there also.
That's awesome, man.
So I think we should end our stream there. Yeah, I think we have also answered all the questions that we got in the Google form there, and we would be sharing a feedback form in the link in the description, and do give us feedback on that as well.
Yeah,
So
please.
yeah,
First AMA, man.
yeah, and thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks a
And
lot, everyone.
and so sorry if I have spelled your name wrong there. So thanks a lot. Bye bye. See ya.